rag is cut. Then in water, it is further broken down. When it's right for scooping, a screen-bottom tray forms a rag sheet of paper. With the watermark, Cuevas. Jose Luis, why did you decide to call this Cuevas Comedies?
Well, I prefer to answer your question in Spanish, is possible?
Certainly.
You understand very well the Spanish. Originalmente el título de esta serie se iba a llamar Cuevas Music Hall.
Originally, this series was to be called Cuevas Music Hall. Unfortunately, in English, music hall has a different connotation. So I decided to call it Cuevas Comedy. This is somewhat like the Max Sennett comedies which were made a few years back with the Keystone Cops and Fatty Arbuckle during the great epic of film comedies of North America. I have been working here with comedy in mind.
Con un sentido un poco de comedia. Sin embargo, los temas que he estado tratando...
Some of the figures that I have treated here are the same as those of previous years, but now they are significantly altered by being encompassed in color. In these lithographs, I am using a great deal of color. And while the persons and themes continue to be the same, the name of Cuevas Comedies pleases me because it speaks somewhat about comedy, but in reality, my works have always been recognized as being tragic.
Cuando en realidad mi obra se ha definido casi siempre más que nada por su sentido trágico. I'm sorry, I prefer to speak in Spanish. He empezado a hacer dibujos aquí. El primer dibujo lo hice el 13 de octubre.
I started my drawings for this series on October 13th, 1971 at the Collector's Press. Then I went out into the street and started drawing on Market Street. In 5 days, I was able to accomplish more than 100 drawings. I also went to the sex theaters where they exhibit naked people, pornographic films, like the Follies on Mission Street.
Ya se me olvidó, Mission Street está. Iba también yo a los cabarets, observaba yo a los gigantes.
Then I went to the nightclubs and observed the giants, the street barkers. And I always took with me a drawing tablet. Finally, I was able to fill my sketch pads with drawings. I draw continually, and I'm always making notes. Even while I'm eating here, I am sketching. Everyone here at Collector's Press is aware of this. So this is how it all started. The idea of Cuevas Comedy was born. I feel that this series of lithographs is the most important of all my works. I have worked with a most extraordinary group of people, pressmen who are artists in their own right, and who have given me their utmost support. Besides all this, I have had the opportunity to experiment with technique. We have experimented and worked with great intensity. Our labors have not been in vain, for we have resolved many technical problems. Thus, I can say that these days and weeks spent in San Francisco working at Collector's Press have been most fruitful and important ones.
This
content page, Ernest. The first in the portfolio is the magician message. It's the envelopes.
All right.
Number 2, the tattooed acrobat. Number 3, interior. Number 4, the giantess, the Matisse Atelier. Number 5 is recollections. Number 6 is the giants.
Okay.
The big one.
Fine.
The super lithograph.
All right.
This is the last one.
Now, how do you want them placed? The titles.
Well, over the lines, the white lines, no?
Outside of the white line.
Outside,
Yes.
outside the lines,
All
always,
right.
no?
Okay.
Like here,
All right.
content page here,
Yes.
and over the line, down 2 times.
Okay.
Number 5 and number 6, down.
Down. All right.
Left and right.
And these will then be printed in type, not written.
No, type, I think so it's much better, no? Type.
Yes.
That's very good.
About like that. Huh?
Yeah.
Figure.
No, I think so it's good. It's good
About
size.
that size.
Right.
Fine.
It's very good.
All right then, Jose Luis. Which is the method that we're going to arrange all these pieces in this
Well,
particular design?
It's like collage, no?
All right.
First is the yellow envelope,
All right.
the bigger, no?
Yes. Placed here, about there,
Yeah, it's actually here, no?
All
Over
right. the ball.
The
there.
balls, yeah.
All right.
And the second envelope, the golden envelope, the Shao is the name.
All right.
No, you can't see here
Yes.
the titles,
Yes.
no?
So this will be number 1.
Yeah, this
All
is
right.
number 1,
All right.
no?
Yes.
And inside the second envelopes is the 4 small lithographs. You have here the titles, Black
Yeah.
Dream,
These are what you call messages.
yeah,
Message.
Black Dreams,
All right.
right. Goofus Bird is this one.
All right.
Behind is this one.
Okay.
Antique Kittle is the last one.
All right.
Is some inside, no? Inside the second envelope,
All right.
like this,
Yes.
or like this, because you can make many combinations. Is the idea. no?
Okay. Then it'll be one unit.
Yeah,
One
right.
complete unit.
Right.
One lithograph
Yeah,
with all these parts.
right.
Okay.
Really, it's 7 lithographs. It's like 7
yes.
lithographs.
1, 2, 3.
3, 7,
Seven.
exactly. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Well, that looks like a very different design from any of the other work we've ever done together.
Yeah, I worked with you in 2 times before.
Yes.
The first suite is Cuevas Charrington,
Yes.
about the Marquis de Sade in Tamarin Workshop. The second time is Homage to Quevedo here in Collector Press.
Beautiful suite, yes.
And really it's very good to work with you, Ernest.
Fine. Well, having worked with you a number of times like this, we understand each other much better.
Yeah.
And I think that's very necessary
Yeah, it's
to understand exactly what you want accomplished.
Yeah.
And I think we're doing very well in this suite to achieve, I think, what you have in mind.
Yeah. Espero que en el futuro sigamos trabajando juntos, Ernesto.
I hope so. I hope so very much.
I think so this is really a very good lithograph.
Especially where the color changes, where the contrast that you did, some on zinc plates, some on aluminum plates, some on washes on stone, and transfers. It took a lot of things to put
Look
it
the
together.
colors over the object.
A rainbow effect.
It's incredible, yeah, rainbow effect. And over the body, no?
Also the body, the change of tone, color.
And over the frame, one drawing in line.
You, did a tattoo on one of the men that works here, too. That started the tattoo drawing.
Yeah, Jack.
The next is Interior. This is really very difficult lithograph, Bill, because you have one image like this, no? But you can to open, and you have two powerful image here. One in the left side and the other one in right side. Very big engraving lithograph in the center. With many lithograph problems, change the tones you can to see. You look this print like silver. It's very clear too. It's many problems, and I think so. It's really very good print. I think so. This lithograph washes, very difficult for the master printer, Ernesto de Soto. But I think so it's very successful lithograph, this one. Interior is his title.
This has many techniques. This looks different than this, and that looks different
Yeah,
than that.
exactly. I think so. This is really beautiful print. I like very much this one. It's three techniques, three mediums. It's lithographs, the background, wash, difficult lithograph medium. It's engraving. The black lines is engraving over stone, and linoleum cut. The browns, small area is linoleum. It's three mediums together. The title is the Giantess. It's other time the subject of the giant. Here is Matisse portrait because it's the Giantess in Matisse atelier. It's a little in the style of Matisse drawing.
This
The model. Yeah, exactly. Because one day before, I go to the museum to see the Gertrude Stein collection show. And for this reason, is this homage to Matisse.
This is Matisse. That's the model. This is the giantess. Who is this?
Well, this is art student, the small fellow. his paper, drawing over his
little
paper,
drawings on his paper.
page sketches, another page sketches. That lithograph is sentimental meaning for me. It's about recollection. A few years ago, I wrote about my childhood, the first part of my autobiography. And I wrote about my first model, my first loved, my first girlfriend is Mireia. And Mireia is here in this lithograph. I am here in the lithograph too, like David Copperfield, because I like very much Charles Dickens. In this area, this man, this funny man with one ice cream over his hand is Mr. Pickwick. And down, big strange animal is like old master painter. In the left is Franz Kafka. The title is Recollections. I think so it's very clear. It's not necessary to explain more.
What was difficult about making this lithograph?
Well, this lithograph is difficult because it's 6 colors. It's engraving too. It's engraving. The brown lines is engraving. Lithograph, engraving, and many plates, silver, zinc, aluminum, and stones, and many colors. I want to explain one thing in this suite. Always I work with very dark colors, and now in this new suite, in Cuevas Comedies, I work with very clear colors, very clear atmosphere. Is not true, Ernesto?
Yes.
Very clear atmosphere, very light colors, very different feeling. The subjects in many cases like this is the same. It's so obsessive in my many subjects. Always I like to make portraits of Franz Kafka, by example. I like to make self-portraits. In this lithograph, I have a small figure with one baby. because my wife Berta is pregnant. The other night walking in downtown in San Francisco, I saw one giant and I make many sketches in the street. And after, I make other drawings about giants, and I put over the giants many symbols. I don't want to explain the symbols, no, because I think so it's more interested for the people descubrir. What is descubrir in English?
Discover.
Discover the symbols. By example, I put over the legs of the giant, chunks of meat. I put over the box, one apple. I put the profile of other giant, bigger giant, down. And I put other small giant down. But I don't want to explain the symbols.
Jose Luis, you've made some changes on the giant. A couple weeks back, you were talking with Ernie about the color scheme. At that time, it was going to be monochromatic, in blues, and you were also thinking of embossing.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, Ernest, I think so. It's good to begin blue dark, the last plate, and the last plate, blue light, is 5 blues, no? 5 different blues. And the figure of the giant begin dark, the first plate begin dark, no? And the last plate very light, black light, gray, silver, I think so, no? Silver is good. And other color for the body, for the figure. Another one for the face. I think so it's possible to make this lithograph in 10 colors. Other color for the meat over the giant legs. And maybe other color for the manzana, for the apple, no? One red, no?
We have to be very careful how each section changes tone.
Yeah.
So that it's going to be very hard to unify the whole figure.
Right.
Changing from dark to light, because when you ink up each line on each section, they have to match the next one, so it doesn't look like it's broken.
Broken, yeah, right.
And that's going to be very difficult.
It's a little danger problem.
Yes. And so how many colors do you think, besides the blues?
Well, the blues is 5 different blues.
5 different blues.
The color of the body, the color of the meat, and the color of the face, no? I think so it's like 10 colors.
About 10 colors.
Okay. 10 colors, right.
Are we going to emboss also? Embossed, you think?
Yeah, very good idea.
Possibly, maybe in the box.
In the box, yeah.
Where it's
right.
flat. You can see the embossment better.
And I think so to make a small drawing, reduce the same figure, the giant.
Yes.
Reduce and to put over the post, the envelope of books.
The embossment, yeah.
Yeah, I think so it's a very good idea because it's like instructions.
Okay, fine.
This print is good, no? Do you like Ernest?
Oh, I think it's beautiful.
Do you like the idea?
I think the idea is magnificent.
That's all.